So I've been playing Marvel Snap pretty much since it released back in 2022. So when I was offered the chance to make a video about my favourite mobile card game, I thought, why not? Now, I know that some card games can appear complicated, and that's why I'm here to guide you through the various systems that make Marvel Snap so addictive. Because if I can play it, then you can too. Now, games of Marvel Snap consist of 2 people, each with a 12-card deck. To win, you need to overpower your opponent at 2 of the 3 random locations shown. If you win, you get cubes which will level you up, and if you lose, well, you will lose cubes, which doesn't level you up. The power and the cost of each card is shown on the card, along with text explaining any abilities that card may have. So, for example, this Doctor Doom card's base stats are pretty bad. You're paying 6 energy for just 5 power. Well, Doctor Doom also has an on-reveal ability, which will trigger when he is played. So for your 6 energy, you're actually getting Doctor Doom's 5 power plus a 5 power Doombot at the other locations, which can swing a game in your favour quicker than you can say Snap. Now if that sounds simple, that's because it is. But there is a lot more to Marvel Snap that takes it from a good card game to a really, really good card game. Take the Snap button as an example. The general rule of thumb is that you only press this button when you think that you have a better chance of winning the game than your opponent does. Here's the thing. You can also snap when you think you have next to no chance of winning. Think of it this way. If you snap, you're basically telling your opponent that you think that you're going to win, which might make them doubt how confident they are in securing victory. Snapping increases the amount of cubes you can win, but that also means you increase the amount of cubes that you could lose. So it's a fine balance between risk and reward. It all becomes very psychological as you try to work out if your opponent is bluffing, all the while trying to work out if you actually have a good chance of winning or if you're bluffing yourself, which I've done on multiple occasions. Trust me though, nothing feels better than snapping when you know you probably aren't going to win, only to then watch your opponent concede because they think you have them beat. Personally, I find that a good time to snap is when a location is revealed, making your opponent think that you have what it takes to lock that location down, which is the name of the game in Marvel Snap. You see, each match consists of 3 random named locations, each with various different abilities that can help and sometimes even hinder players. Knowing what cards to play at which location will come with experience. Or you could just flip the whole match on its head and use magic to change the location so that the game has an extra turn, or use Storm to lock that location off after the next turn. Just because the game gives you a set of locations, that doesn't mean that they will be the locations when the game ends. I mean, there are so many locations in Marvel Snap that every game feels different. And whilst there are good decks and bad decks, there is no one deck that can rule them all, as the outcome of each match can change depending on which locations show up. It's up to you to adapt and change tactics on the fly, all the while keeping an eye on your opponent's moves and predicting what they have planned, which makes winning all the sweeter. Now, of course, the cards themselves are also very important in Marvel Snap. At the time of recording, there are 4 different types of cards in Marvel Snap. These are no ability cards. These cards are no frills cards that have no abilities, but they usually make up for it in raw stats. On reveal cards. These cards will do something when played. That is, unless the location that you play them at blocks it or your opponent has played a card that prevents the on reveal effect triggering. Ongoing cards. These cards have an ability that will last as long as the game does, or until a location or opponent's card stops it. Special ability cards. These cards work kind of like the ongoing cards, but they aren't ongoing, which means any ongoing debuffs won't affect them. Each Marvel Snap deck consists of 12 cards, so matches don't last too long, which is perfect for a quick game when you have a spare couple of minutes. Now, you've probably seen that some of the cards that I'm playing with look different to the ones that my opponent plays, and that brings me on to the best part of Marvel Snap. The collecting. Each card has multiple different art styles, each with a unique take on popular Marvel characters. My personal favourite variants are the Dan Hip cards, and it's my personal goal to collect all of his variants because they look so damn nice. It's almost like a game within a game. Now, it should go without saying that creating a deck plays a big part in any card game, and that also applies to Marvel Snap. However, because each deck consists of 12 cards, it's pretty easy to build a deck and quickly learn what's working and what's not, and then fine-tune accordingly. Of course, you can create decks themed around your favourite heroes or villains and see how far they can take you, or you can assemble a random mishmash of famous Marvel characters to see if they can get the job done. I mean, there's a chance that you can come face to face with someone using the exact same deck as you, but because of the sheer amount of variance in the game, your cards just won't look the same. Personally, I think that's why I've played Marvel Snap for nearly 3 years now. It's not just a card battler, it's a card collector. And of course, the best part about collecting is displaying your collection. Well, you can play Marvel Snap for free on PC, Android, and iOS, using the same account on all 3 platforms. You can start the day playing the game at your desktop before heading to work or school and using that same collection as you go about your day. Honestly, there is so much to like about Marvel Snap, and whilst there is the option to spend money in the game, you really don't have to. My collection of Dan Hip cards were purchased entirely using in-game currency, which isn't something that you can say about most mobile games. If you're looking for a new game to play on your phone, then I highly recommend Marvel Snap. I mean, I was playing it long before this sponsored video, and I'll be playing it long after. If you want to check out Marvel Snap for yourself, you can use my link in the description or in my pinned comment, which also helps the channel out. I know that this is different from my usual content, and that's because this is a sponsored video, but being given the chance to partner with a game that I play all the time doesn't come around often. If you did enjoy this new style of video, then leaving a like would be really appreciated. If you are a fan of Easter eggs and secrets in games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about. And as always, thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.